It's Memorial Day, Labor Day
weekend.
I always get them mixed up. You know what else I get mixed up a lot? Sunrise and sunset.
Really?
I just always say the wrong one. They're very clear cut in terms of their wording, like how they should be defined. Oh my
I've always like March and May. I'm mixing those up a lot. I don't know why. I just always have mixed up March and May. I'll be like, whatever. We're exhausted. We have been working on our presentation all day today, and it's just a lot of mental energy for the event that we're having next week. So we are 1 week out now, which is super exciting. But yes, today we've been writing this script and editing it and then going back and forth and trying to put it into PowerPoints and just, it's just a lot.
It is.
It's not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. I'm not good at PowerPoints. They're a lot of work for me. I'm not good at like being creative in what I want to put on a slide.
I wish I could just like tell someone and they can be like, yeah, I got it. You know, like have a creative director that could just understand.
Those people cost a lot of money.
Eventually we'll get there. So yeah, 1 week out, which is so exciting. If you are going to be with us next weekend, we are looking forward to seeing you, meeting you, hugging you, having a dance party. It's so cute. The group that we started, just like all of the attendees are like so excited. And a lot of people kind of know each other, and that'll be cool for other people to meet each other. But yeah, I am excited. You know, in my head, I have this like vision, and then I'm like, okay, it's like kind of surreal to think like, you know, as our mentor, Rachel, she's like, remember that people are coming to see you guys. Like you have to speak, you have to give these presentations. And we were like, why? They listen to the podcast. They talk to us on calls. They hear us.
They watch us on social media. But I think about it all the time. Like I consume a lot of Vince's content, even though I talk to him all the time. I consume a lot of Andy Frisella's content. Like it's hearing things different ways, different times, like, you know, you value certain people, and we appreciate that the people coming value us enough to come to the event. And we're so excited. It's, you know, I'm really happy with I think we're going to have about 70 people there, between our team and the attendees. And it's going to be, I think, the perfect amount, because any more than that, I feel like you're not going to be able to talk to people well enough. It's just going to be, not as personal. And we really wanted the first event to be very personal and just building of a community. You know, that's ultimately the number one reason we had this event, was to help build a stronger community within FitMom for our members, for our clients. Because I think it's so important to have that in any type of, you know, health journey, life, mom journey.
Yeah. All right. If you're dealing with water retention, you're waking up puffy, your ankles or your wrists are really swollen, or you can't get your rings off, and maybe you're even dragging throughout the day, no matter how much water you drink, there's actually a good chance that you're not actually hydrating properly.
Exactly. Because water alone is not enough. You need electrolytes. You need sodium, potassium, magnesium, because those things actually pull water into your cells. Otherwise, you're basically just flushing it out and wondering why you're still tired, you're still bloated, and you're still sluggish.
But here's the thing, most electrolyte supplements out there aren't helping you in any way, because a lot of them contain things like natural flavors, food dyes, and maltodextrin, which can irritate your gut. And these things can also spike your blood sugar when you're trying to heal.
That's why we both started using Buoy. It's super simple, just trace minerals and electrolytes in liquid form. No flavors, no colors, no sugar, no sweeteners, and you squeeze it into whatever you are drinking. Water, coffee, tea, smoothies, you name it.
And it's clinically backed by science too. So studies have shown that Buoy helps you hydrate better, 64% better in fact, and that's data coming from key blood and urinary markers, not just marketing fluff. And honestly, you can feel the difference. I've had many clients tell me their digestion's improved, they have less headaches, and they're better energy throughout the day.
And Buoy isn't just for people that go to the gym all the time and sweat a bunch. They actually offer a 35% lifetime discount for anyone that's struggling with chronic illnesses. Things like POTS, Hashimoto's, Crohn's disease, chronic migraines, and every autoimmune condition. They're really committed to making better hydration accessible to people who need it most.
I actually throw it in my coffee every morning because it's such an easy upgrade. You don't even taste it, but you're definitely gonna notice if you miss it.
If you're tired of playing hydration roulette and want something that actually supports your body, you've got to try Buoy. It's honestly one of the simplest ways to feel better faster.
Oh God.
mom
Yeah,
journey.
it's the reels right now that are killing me. Like, I know we've sent some like to each other, just like I love the internet. Oh my gosh.
I love the internet.
I love
I
the
really
internet.
do, for a lot of reasons,
So
but then I hate it.
I haven't shared this yet, but I think I sent it to you. It's the husband who basically is taking a toy car and he's showing all these Pilates moves after he looked at the credit card statement. And
Mm.
it's like my husband teaching me how to do Pilates, and he's using the toy car as a roof warmer. So that she doesn't have to pay so much money. And I was like, I wonder like what our husbands would do in terms of if they were making a reel like that. I think for me, it'd probably be like skincare in some way, because I also keep trying to force my husband to do skincare and it's not working too well.
Oh, my husband's totally about. I was looking through my closet yesterday before I came over here because I usually look the night before, like, what am I going to pack? What outfits?
Yeah.
And Nick was like, how could you ever decide what to wear with no clothes in this closet? And I'm like, shut up. Okay. I don't like anything right now. I don't want to wear any of this. I need new clothes. And he's like, then you have to throw out everything because you get new clothes packages every other day. I was like, that is a huge exaggeration. Okay. It comes in ebbs and flows. It's not.
I definitely don't follow the one in, one out.
Oh gosh, no.
That's supposed to be our rule. And I think I've done better on the clothes front, but not the shoes front, because I've recently just, I was looking at our shoe closet and I was like, how did I just end up with all of these shoes? And then just another pair came today and I'm still haven't found what I want. So we're going to Spain in a couple weeks. And what I want is a tennis shoe that has a heel in it because I want to be taller. So it's like a wedge tennis shoe. And there's a bunch of them. They're really, really cute.
Okay.
But I just haven't found the one yet. So I'm going this weekend with a girlfriend. And she's like, funny you say that. She's also going to Spain. And she's like, I've been looking for something similar, but a little bit different. And so I was like, well, maybe we could just look at the mall, because, you know, when you go online, it's like,
It's hard. And then the hard thing though is when you go to the mall intentionally looking for something, you never find it.
you never find it.
It's
Well,
how
it's like-
it's the girl code. It just doesn't work like that. And then when you don't need anything, you find all the things.
Yeah.
I typically find stuff. I have no problem buying things.
Yes. So we're going to Oak Brook, which I saw Dr. Fitz. She's a speaker at our event next weekend. She was there and she was going to Abercrombie and Fitch, and she's hilarious.
To American Eagle.
Oh, American Eagle.
Because of the wokeness.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she was like, I'm a size 0 now and all this stuff. And then she went to Louis Vuitton and got that purse or whatever for $2,000 they're giving away. I'm like, look at you fancy out here. Get the $2,000 Louis Vuitton purse giveaway.
Oh, I mean, I'll just buy a fake one.
I mean, they all come from the same place.
I cannot bring myself to spend over $1,000 on a purse. I just can't. Maybe one day when I have lots and lots and lots of money, but I'll just buy a fake one. I don't care. There are some people that know the difference. I do not know the difference.
I will say that I really wanted this backpack. Well, I forgot what it was. A YSL. I don't remember. We were on a cruise. I was pregnant with Ethan. And I saw this backpack and I was like, oh, I love it. So I went to that group for the girl who finds.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, I've used it once and never will use it again. Like, that is definitely something that was like poor purchase.
Yeah.
It's
I for sure use my Louis Vuitton big bag all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get the big over the like the fanny pack. Because I use that all the time with the kids. I need a big one that I can like put snacks and my wallet and phone in.
Yeah.
So I think that's my next purchase. My nail lady said when she goes to Thailand, she's going to get me one.
My nail lady evaluated my bag and was like, this is how you know if it's fake or not. And she's like, this is actually a very good fake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, thank you for your feedback, because I have no idea. And I quite frankly don't care, because it's not like a status thing to me. I really just liked how it looked. And honestly, if I liked how something looked at Target or Nordstrom and it wasn't like a designer or whatever, you know?
See, I don't really like the, what's it called? What's the really, really expensive purse right now that everyone's getting? Not everyone, obviously, but it's like.
Oh, are you talking about those bogs? Those stupid, ugly plastic, like
no
beach bags?
They're like, oh God, it's going to drive me nuts. There's a name of a purse. It's not Louis Vuitton. It's not Chanel. It's not, Michael Kors. It's not any of those. There's like, I remember it because it was on Selling Sunset is how I remember they talked about it. But there's a very famous purse. I think Travis Kelce did a photo shoot with them because he's such a great human. This photo shoot was ridiculous if you see it.
Is he still with Taylor Swift?
Yeah, he's still with Taylor Swift.
They're disgusting to me.
I don't know. He's not attractive. Like, I do not find him attractive in any way, shape, or form. She's pretty. I think Taylor Swift's cute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just don't like what she stands for, so I just don't like her.
I mean, I love that girls, she makes good music, but like, yeah, I'm not a fan of the feminist movement. But anyways, another topic for another day.
So we're here talking about Friday Fire. Friday Fire. Let's get into the topic because our banter is up. Somebody will
timing.
say
Our
something.
producer, aka Liz's husband.
Okay, so I am going to tell this story because I think that this is just rude. So we get this timer and it's green and then it goes red to like the countdown, right? And then that's our cue that we need to get into the topic for the day. And so my husband was setting it up the other day and he's explaining to Marcus and he's like, yeah, because people think it's annoying that they just talk about themselves. And Marcus goes, yeah, let's put a timer on mom because she's annoying. And I was like, you're annoying. Like, I haven't even been bothering you, jerk.
Carson says some like rude stuff sometimes. And remember who birthed you, child. Okay.
I'm about to get that soap bar out. I'm not even lying.
I got the soap in the mouth when I was little.
I know.
I don't think that's child abuse.
No.
Especially with my non-toxic soap. It's fine.
I was just going to buy the dollar store one that's straight up toxic that tastes like garbage so that he remembers because there's a distinct taste.
There is.
Okay. I remember that dollar store soap taste.
Yeah. We were playing Monopoly and my sister and brother stole my money. And I was like 5 or 6. And I was like, where's my fucking money? And my mom was like, excuse me? She chased me around the house until she pinned me down and shoved the soap in my mouth. So anyways, it's a Birkin bag. That's what it is.
Got it.
Birkin bag.
Okay.
It was driving me nuts. I had to look it up. So anyways, today's topic is around there is no easy way through the process of healing and I would say staying in a good place physically, physiologically, mentally with your health. I think that, and this is something that we're actually presenting on in our event, is that maintenance is not real. Like maintenance is a myth because maintaining, in my opinion, is harder even than the intensive work of healing. Because maintaining, you're like, well, I can because I'm feeling good. And it's like when I'm not feeling well, I'm much more motivated. And I think a lot of people, it takes too long for them to get to that motivated place. It's like, how much do you have to hurt? How much do you have to realize that what you're feeling isn't normal for you to finally take action?
Yeah. So I think that in terms of any goal that you are setting out to accomplish, this can be applied, right? So if your goal is to, let's just take like the functional health piece out of it, for a few minutes and say, my goal is just to lose weight, or my goal is to build muscle. My goal is to run a marathon. My goal is to graduate with my master's degree, whatever it might be. Any one of those feats that you're going to take on is going to require change from what you're doing right now because you don't have time carved out to focus your time, efforts, and attention and energy, right, into accomplishing this goal or making progress towards that goal. And I had somebody ask on social media recently, I feel like I'm stuck in a rut. I'm unmotivated, I'm overweight, and I'm unhappy. And I basically approached it from the lens that you're not unhappy enough. You're saying you're unhappy, but you're also relying on motivation that is a very fleeting emotion. And so that's a big problem here. Like you're clearly not unhappy enough. The pain of, changing and the pain of not changing is not great enough for you to start taking action. If that was true, you were so unhappy, then you would be doing something to work towards getting the weight off or getting out of this funk, right? And that doesn't have to be anything crazy big. It could be like, hey, I chose today to wake up and go outside and go for a walk, to journal and to put, good things into my body and consume good content or uplifting things instead of all of the things around me that are just making me more depressed and more unmotivated. Because it's very easy. Like when you're down in the dumps to call a girlfriend and be like, let's go get margs and tacos and wallow in this. And then that spirals and it spirals and it spirals, right? And I just think for people that really, anybody who's accomplished anything great knows that you don't rely on motivation, right? You have to have discipline. You have to have willpower. You have to have a plan of action and you have to follow through and take that action. And so there's no easy way to get anything in life if it is a goal that you desire to accomplish that's big and it's worth something. And I think when it comes to your health, if you're sitting there and you're telling me that you're so unhappy, you're overweight, you don't like where you're at, then I think that you have to take a really hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you playing the victim or are you choosing to be the victor? because at the end of the day, it's ultimately your life and it's your choice. And we can give you the coaching all day long. We can ask you all of the questions like, how will your life change? What will this mean to you? How will you show up better? Will you be more productive? Will you get that promotion? Will you have better sex? Will you travel? Whatever it is. And all those things, like when you're really in the slumps, I think just feel a little too hard to connect to because it seems so far away. So it's taking that mental evaluation and asking yourself again, am I going to be the victim or the victor? And then what happens if I don't change? Because I think that sometimes people do better connecting to that pain and like thinking worst case scenario than they do even trying to think best case scenario because it seems so far
Oh yeah.
removed from where they are.
Yeah, I think about hangovers. Like every time when I was drinking in college and I would have like the worst hangover ever because that's what happens to me. Like I'm never drinking again. It's like you get so much more motivated by pain than you do by happiness, by joy, by whatever. You get motivated by what am I not having? What do I not get in my life right now? What can I not do? Like for me, it was every day I hated getting clothes on because I would see in the mirror. I used to stop dressing in front of the mirror for a period of time because I was like, I can't even look at myself in the mirror. It was that much of a mental, emotional hatred towards where I was physically. And that is what ultimately drove me was that anger and that frustration. And I agree. I think that people are much more fueled by negative feelings than they are by positive ones. And I think the other thing to understand is that you have to be prepared for boring consistency because whenever you are in a new lifestyle mindset of I'm going to be healthier, I'm going to, do the things. It is not rainbow and sunshines at all. 99% of the time. Like it is, I'm eating a lot of the same foods, like maybe different combinations, some variation of different fruits or vegetables. So I keep a diet diversity in there, but like it's not fancy. I meal prep a lot of the same things because I know they work. I know they fit. I know that it's what I can make do with the time that I have, which is not a ton of time. And my workouts, a lot of days, honestly, the past year and a half, I don't want to go. I'm like, I have more things on my mind. I have business stuff that I'd rather be doing. It's just not a focus like it used to be. I used to my whole day live for my workout. It was like, that is what I get. That's my favorite part of the day. It's like now I have other things that I enjoy more. But I know that the boring consistency is what keeps me in a place that I feel good and that my body stays in a place that I'm happy with. And it's not flashy. It's not exciting. It is boring most days. And a lot of times you are the boring person. You are the person that doesn't want to stay out until 1 a.m. and drink with all of the neighbors. You are the person that doesn't want to do all of the outings or, indulge in all of the cakes or the cookies or the pizza night or whatever it might be. You are that boring person. It's what, honestly, like, it's what health is. And you can frame it differently. Like, no, I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of how I feel because the boring makes me feel good. When I don't do the boring, when I try to live the more exciting, go out, have dinners with friends, have drinks, have all of these things, like I'm not as happy because I feel physically worse. I'm bloated, I'm constipated, I have less energy, I don't feel like my clothes fit as good. Like it is picking which one you want. And in the moment when you want the drinks, the food, whatever it might be, it's realizing, what do I want more? And a lot of times, you guys, maybe it's easier for Liz, but for me, and in those moments, there's still white knuckling that goes on. There's still, I really want to have another glass of wine. I really want to have that dessert. I really want to have X, Y, and Z, whatever it might be, because I'm in an environment that's fun and everyone else is drinking. But I know what I'm going to feel like tomorrow. I know what I'm going to feel like the next few days. I know my weight's going to spike if I do this. I know I'm going to feel more bloated or watery or whatever it might be. Like, it is still those inner conversations I have to have because I don't avoid those situations all the time. I think sometimes people need to for certain periods of life, but I try to put myself in those situations because I don't want to be the person that literally never goes out, that never enjoys life. But I know that it doesn't take much for me to not feel good. And so there are a lot of nights that I am at dinner with friends or new people that we're trying to meet and, make friends with. I don't have a lot of friends because maybe I am the more boring, but like there are many nights where I white knuckle it.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm definitely less sensitive on the alcohol side. And then I'm not like, I don't know, like food is just one of those things where like dessert can be there and all around me, and I don't really care like anymore. It used to be a trigger for me, but I also just have found like I'm not that sensitive to like foods anymore, thankfully, right? And I think that it's also just deciding like what ultimately do you enjoy? Because for me, like I talk about club soda and lime all the time. Like I am happy with that. I can have an iced tea with an orange. I can have a couple glasses of wine. It's like I don't have to have any of that stuff. It's like me choosing if I want it. But I do know that for many people who are prone to getting this, inflammation and all of that stuff, it does make it harder. And so if you are someone too, like I said this to a client recently, if you are in a healing phase and you are really flaring and you've got a long way to go, the truth is, and people don't want to hear this, there's not much wiggle room. So you might have to white knuckle it for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, maybe 2 years, depending upon how far things have gotten, how far you are. I mean, y'all, we have friends that we've had on this podcast. We know people who have been in places where they were hospitalized. They couldn't have more than 3 foods. I believe her name was Amanda that we had on the podcast. And she talked about, right? Like she had mast cell activation syndrome. And we were even talking about this in our walk today. Like that doesn't just like flip a switch. Like things don't just like overnight change. It is a progression. It's something that is internally going wrong. And if you ignore it for so long, it gets worse and worse and worse. And then obviously the worse things get, the harder it gets to reverse. And so for some people, it is no, like not in this season, right? It is having the conversation with your spouse. It is having the conversation with your kids of why I'm doing this, right? Like, and I was even sharing with her, I think it's important to be the light and just say, I love this and I love that you can have it and I love it for you. But for me, it doesn't make my stomach feel good. You don't have to come at it from a diet perspective. I can't have this. And I think a lot of people get in that mental place because they're so in tune with like the calories, right? Or it's going to make me fat or it's too many carbs or whatever it might be. And really it's more about how your body is handling these foods and what the response is. And for some individuals, when they're going through these protocols that are a more acute phase, there's not wiggle room. For other individuals, when you get to maintenance, you will find what is your balance, where it's your, yin to the yang. I can meal prep for the week and eat at home and feel great. I can have a couple of times out on the weekend and maintain my weight. But if I want to get strict in terms of I want to lose more weight or I want to cut weight or I want to build muscle or whatever, then it requires being more dialed in. And in those phases too, you're saying no more. You are being that boring person or whatever. I wouldn't phrase it at that personally, just because I don't want to be seen as boring. Like I just want to go and like not give a fuck what other people are doing, right? Because at the end of the day, I was listening to a podcast Layla Hormozi did, and I thought that she framed it up perfectly. Like I just want to do what I want, and that I'm going to do what I want. Whatever everybody else around me is doing, that's awesome. At the end of the day, I think that people put more stake into pleasing other people than they do themselves. And they get so concerned. What are they going to think? Sister, they're not really thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves and what they're going to engorge in, to be honest with you. Like that is mostly what they're thinking about. Like what's their next drink? What's their chips and queso? What are we, or you know what I mean? Like they're not really thinking about you. They might tease you if you're the person who's like, yeah, give me a salad, or you make a big deal about it. You also don't have to make a big deal about it. You could just be like, yeah, I love the ahi tuna. Cooper's Hawk. I love the ahi tuna life balance. Cool. Why does it matter to anybody else? You're not having the one, to be eating it. So I think that you just have to really get yourself into the right mindset for the phase that you're in. And then when your phase changes and your goals change, cool. Maybe you have more wiggle room, or not so cool. You don't have the wiggle room, but then you have to be really, really intentional. It's being black and white and recognizing this isn't going to be easy, but God made you to do hard things, and that's totally fine. You're not going to die because you said no to the chocolate for 6 weeks. Like I promise you, you will look back at that time. And just like we did when we did 75 hard, I look back at that time and I'm like, I can't tell you one thing that I truly feel like I missed out on. Even through my husband, a 40th birthday, a surprise birthday party. I didn't drink. Who cared?
Yeah.
I had a great time. We hung out with our friends. It was about him. It was his birthday, right? Like what would have been the difference? I probably would have not felt as good the next day. And I probably would have looked back and said like, wasn't really worth it,
No, I completely agree. And I think the one thing that in the podcast we were listening to with Layla, she told kind of a fable of 2 monks that were walking and a woman came up and was being very mean to them and angry. And the one monk totally lashed out and the other one just smiled and kept walking. And he was like, how could you not say anything? She was being so rude. And the monk was talking about basically, if someone gives you a gift and you don't take it, who does that gift belong to? And he was like, well, it belongs to them. And he was like, exactly. She wanted to give me the gift of anger. I didn't take it. That anger stays with her. And it's like such a powerful way of thinking on when other people try to bully you or make you feel guilty or make fun of you for doing something and you choose not to take on whatever those feelings are that they're trying to push on you. Guess what? They get to keep those feelings. And having that power, having that confidence, I think is all the difference in the world, right? And when you can think of it like that, total game changer.